Hi everyone, today this video we're gonna talk about a bit of some of the financial habits that I think are the most crucial ones in order to accumulate wealth during our lifetime. And so we have to understand that we, as any other type of species, we have to understand that we're made to always try to fight, to conquer, to accumulate capital that can be seen as money. For other ones, is seen as food. We have as well health because it's important in order to procreate and to have our genes obviously going on in the next generations, and obviously everything that gives value in order to fulfill what are our needs, we're going to understand as something that's useful, and so something that I have to spend my time in order to catch for so my needs getting satisfied. Because without my needs getting satisfied, ones being more crucial than other ones, the reality is if I don't satisfy them, I'm going to D E E. So we obviously we understand that one day we'll reach, one day we will happen, we will become non-existent type of human beings. But obviously, while we're being a one that has life, we want and we need to proliferate to have extension of our lifetime. We have to satisfy our needs, and so we have to understand that it's not something that we cannot see as greedy. Obviously, it has to be controlled because I think a limit that we will adopt in order to understand when I'm becoming greedier and I'm in a point, then it should not be. It's if I'm creating bad things for other ones and not just bad things for people that I do like, but obviously I have to see if I'm starting to not respect the other ones, because being greedy is something that's natural for us. It's a mechanism that we have. But with that understand, let's go so for the tricks. First of all, we have to understand that to create wealth, I have to have a, a simple type of math calculation during the time that I'm accumulating much more revenue than the one that I spent. That obviously multiplied by the time that I do this operation, I'm gonna so get a good quantity as my reserve. So I have get the ability to generate incomes and spending as much less as possible. So generating incomes, we have to understand that the majority of the incomes that we get, and mainly the ones that comes with the work, we have to respect the law of how useful we are. We have to understand that you're paid in comparison with how much value you aggregate for the person that you pay. And what determines the price of something? A simple law of economic. It defined by the offering and defined by the demand. Which more scarce and so which less offering exists and more demand people tend to have, more people will so get and perceive value in something, and so better will be the thing and more perceived will be so, and so more paid I'm gonna be. Other components, simple math calculation. Other than just the price, to obviously generate income, we have to get quantities. And obviously, a thing that's important and we get to analyze to understand if so I have if my incomes have like projections of growth, I have to look for scalability. Probably we have some type of what I call ceilings because we have 20 hours a day and just cutting the hours that we sleep, we have 16 hours that you can produce something. And some of the works that exist, they requires you to be working in order to get money. Other one, even when you're sleeping, you're getting money. And obviously, so what's most scalable? The one that has most potential to generate quantities. That is the scalable ones, the ones that we receive even when you're sleeping. And what are the type of things that we can see? Probably someone that has videos in YouTube and has AdSense rolling, and so we get money when people assist, and these you don't need to be present to be actively doing energy and spending energy in order to provide value to other one is something that's scalable. We can grow the people that benefits with what I deliver and not having and not demands to me much more energy. The biggest example is making digital products, which obviously buys this channel that have access to a lot of people. It just requires me to do one video, just requires me to do a document, just requires me to do some hours to do a course, and I can get multiple people watching whatever they want and when I'm sleeping. So good to get rich, and probably if you want to get rich not by a heritage but by your working, you have to look for scalable work and for a thing that you better than the other ones, so people will be able to pay you, and you have to look for the demand that exists for what you do and the offering, how much people offer what you do. And that's why, for example, we have a thing that it's important to understand. College. A lot of people praise college, but reality is the majority of people today to go for the college. So the offering people and works that they've been in college, it has increased so much that it's not so much valuable because scarcity is becoming something that is non-existent. A lot of people now have college and do college. And so a lot of people have the same offering, and so the same type of knowledges they can offer for the people, and the demand has not grown. And so what happens? The value of what we offer as someone that has college becomes lower, so less money I got. That's something that's important. That's why we suffer, for example, for inflation with the food. A lot of people doesn't do like to be working in the camps, in the fields, in order to harvest and getting so the food's being done is a hard job. And so that's why a lot of these people now are getting more job, are more getting more valued. Someone that works, for example, doing homes is something that is getting more valued nowadays. And so that's why the the type of market is obviously something that is floating, but we have projection of future. We understand that a lot of people that have expertise in EA and how to adopt EA to our jobs, they're gonna get probably good amount of money if they are able to use EA, that's someone that has the proportion of being better than humans to do the jobs. If they can put in their homework in their home, they're gonna be able to produce more and obviously produce something with more high quality. But obviously you have other incomes, investments. It kind of respects scalability. You put your money and the money is applied in the company. It's a company that works with the money in order to create rentability and revenues for us without my money or without I being present to work. But obviously it requires good amounts of and quality of capital to so get a specific income that make us get so wealth being created. But we have to understand creating incomes that are scalable, that other ones perceive as value, and obviously to get perceived well, get a lot of money by unit that I put, I have to get like ability to produce value. And so having the ability to think, have being intelligent, and these stuffs. Other thing, living always low of what I spend, what I earn. That's important, and this is something that is good because a lot of people when they start gaining so much, they see that they have to fit so with how much they earn. They have to as well increase how much they spend, but it doesn't need our needs. They kind of get fullified, like the best ones, the most important ones, in certain level that it's not because we earn more that we have to spend more, and that's so it's important to sometimes establishing what I call as reference levels. Sometimes if you just kind of define what I really do, I so even if I start earning more, I will understand that I don't need more than what I have established that is my needs in a reference level. So I say my reference level is that I need 1,000 to survive, and to survive and having other needs that I do like, that I see that it's like the one that I have to stop. So later on, if I start becoming more by the growth in my career, in my earns, if I apply the tricks that I've been said about how to create good type of incomes, I have to say that even I grow to 100k, imagine a month, uh, I will not spend one more than 1,000. Obviously, not considering specific costs that probably are the ones that comes as an urgency. I have to spend in hospital. If I want to get a specific travel, I can do, but just being the reference level, being what's normal, and not just being something that I have to find and not accomplish. That's something that helps us because reference levels helps me to understand, to be rational about, so where should my spends be on and not depending on the growth of the incomes. And so I my brain tends to match so the incomes and I spend whole everything, because to be rich you have to have the ability to not spend whole so what you get. Other thing that's important is investing, because what's important, we have talked about generating good incomes, we have talked about controlling so the spends creates a margin, but now what I do with the margin. So sometimes my energy already was spent because the way that I created the incomes required me to have my energy and giving my best. And so neither all this is kind of easy to now with the margin investing again. Others obviously in our incomes can be a strategy, but we have a time that it kind of becomes a sailing that we start so to not wholly spending energy, just wholly being engaged in so working, and so we do the other one of the incomes that I've taught, that is putting money to invest, that the work there is just putting my money in or selling it and not making something with the money, because it will be in the accountability of companies that obviously have a lot of intelligent people, smart people that go for big companies. They have obviously people with have a lot of knowledge, that so they can and they know to understand what they do with the capital in order to generate more money, even because it's something that I do like, because if I'm having rentability of investing in a company, it means that the other equity that the company has is value, is having valuation, and is equity is obviously in the hands of the owners that obviously they guarantee. So by having the satisfaction of their own needs, they try, and they by trying it they as well have my needs getting satisfied, that is rentability, generating more income with it already. So the margin that I got from the incomes with the differential in comparison with the spends that I have. So this knowing that how I can generate more income, controlling my spends, knowing how to do with the margin, and obviously so having this cycle being quantity, having so high quantity happen in the all the time, and so it requires me to have health. That's why it's important to one of the things that we spend is spending in health, and this is required by being fundamentalist understand so how we create health, how I can, what are the things that are important, is diet, is exercise, is knowing so what science says, and so spending time on it is a smart thing that obviously becomes me, makes me have more richer and so get wealth. That's something that it's important. Obviously other things that are important, just like the mathematical simple equation of knowing so what's positive income, knowing what we spend and is negative, controlling, knowing to what the margin, how to multiply so these cycles, so having a good longevity of generation of incomes. And that's why it's so important to not just think in short term, understand to get in long term. And so when we specialize and we are depending reliable in a specific revenue, we have to understand if it's something that's going to sustain in long term. But because it's sometimes we can enjoy some type of opportunities that comes in the short term, but when they so get we get rid of them, it's important to have some type of what we call as a reserve, that is called the emergency reserve. And this important thing that we have when you start doing investments, when you start taking risk, we have to get so this emergency fund that is useful, that kind of will it will fulfill my three 3 to 6 months that my needs kind of so need to me to spend. And so this is something that helps me to organize sometimes the life, to so look for new type of ways of income that have been growth by the change of the world, what world perceives is valuable, that the human being with my abilities have, understanding so new likes that I can have, what so is needed and how I can make it scalable, that so reorganize the cycle, always just always obviously trying to adapt, but always respecting the law of having take care of income, generating as much as I can, controlling spends, knowing to do what's the margin that I got, and obviously always trying to multiply so how much this cycle tends to happen. And so with a simple type of way to see the life, you come so a bit more wise, because in simplicity that's the power, in not in trying to complexify everything. So see you in the next one.